Are you an epoxy floor business and you're looking for proven strategies that can help you grow without costing you a fortune? Well, listen up. I've got 9 proven strategies that you can do to get more leads. Hello, my name is Zeke Domowski, the owner of Creatively Innovative, and today we're going to be talking about 9 different ways you can get leads for your epoxy floor business. So let's jump right on in. The first one is social media. Now, we all think about social media. Sure, we can just post on there and, we can get leads, or maybe we think I've done it before and I haven't gotten leads. But how do we make it more profitable for you? How do we make it actually work better for you? So here's a couple different strategies for you. Well, one, we have to think about where our target audience is. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok. All these are great platforms. The question is what works for your exact area? What I would suggest is that you post on a few of them, even using a tool. There's probably some free tools out there that you could use that could make it automatic, but post on each of them and just be regular about it. Now, here's the thing, is not all your content is going to resonate with all of your audiences. So you got to mix it up a little bit. You might have a little bit of humor here. You might have a little bit of educational pieces here. You might have to do just different content to figure out what works for your audience. Now, one thing that I have personally seen is that videos are much more engaging than pictures. So if you just post a picture of a completed project, people might hit like, thumbs up if they're your friend, but it might not engage new customers. And so you have to make sure that you're putting out content that is getting engagement so that your audience is interacting with it and that it's relevant to the right users. Because it's great that you get likes and all, but are you going to get leads from it? So make sure that you are posting regularly and you're hitting multiple platforms. The second way that we can get leads for your epoxy floor business is through user experience on your website and content marketing. So the reason why I put the two of those together is because your website alone may not be generating you business, and that could be a user experience thing, or it could be a search engine optimization issue. But let's just say you are getting traffic on your site and you're not getting leads. Well, it could be a matter of your site doesn't look clean and crisp and professional, just like your products that you really excel at installing. And so when you think about your website, it has to be just like your product. It's got to be pretty. It's got to look good, else people aren't going to stay on your site long. So when you're adding content to your site or you're editing it, you need to make sure that you have call to actions throughout the page so that people know how to get a hold of you to get a quote. So when I think of how to get a quote, I think of the buttons on the page, and they need to be bright. They need to be bright green, red, orange, yellow, any of those options, but don't have a website where it's blue logo, blue text, blue buttons, and everything's just blue. It's not going to stand out when it comes to how they're going to contact you. So I recommend that you make sure you have buttons, and when it says get a free quote or contact us today, you also have a phone number button right next to it. So one of your buttons will be a solid color and the other one will be an outline color where there's an outline and then the phone number's inside of it, or get a quote, depending on which one you want to put first. So the user experience is what is critical to have done first before you start thinking about adding more content. Now, everyone is trying to use AI these days. They're using AI to write blogs, they're using AI to write content for their Facebook pages, or even your Facebook posts you could use AI for. But when you're writing content for your website, it's not about just writing any content. It needs to be relevant to your audience and to your area. So instead of thinking about, hey, here's another epoxy job that we did, think more along the lines of, why is epoxy flooring the right choice for Dallas homeowners? Something that ties a question that people might look up to your exact area. Otherwise, I've seen this all the time where people write content and they get traffic to their website, but they don't get any leads, and that's because they're writing generic content. So be specific and be intentional about what you're actually writing. The third way that you can be doing marketing for your business is through email marketing. So when you're building up your content on social media or even on your website, and maybe it's people that have reached out for a quote but haven't converted, put them into an email list and continue to reach out to them maybe once a month and give them either a free tip, an offer, something that they can take action on. But the biggest thing is making sure that that email is properly laid out. We're going to go back to the user experience. I've seen an email just recently where it was just filled with content, and every time I see this company's emails that come through, I'm just like, that is just not the way to reach people. And it's just like the fonts are so tiny and the pictures are so big, but it's like, it's not pretty. It's not pretty to read. And so you really have to think about, how can I make my content more engaging with the user? And so big titles, bullet points, short, quick, to the point. Hey, here's 5 reasons on why you should put an epoxy floor system in your garage. Or here are 5 places that you can use epoxy floors or install epoxy floors. And so you might mention the garages, the basement, the patios, whatever makes sense for your target market. And then make sure that you're regular with these emails, so it's not just one and done. And I'll give you another tip later on how you can make a bigger email list. So keep listening. The next step would be to do a Google business profile. You're going to want to create a Google business profile. That's where you have a maps listing, where Google lists you on the internet, on the maps in particular, and your customers can leave your reviews. When you list your business on the maps, people are more likely to click on that than even the search results below it. And then when you get more reviews, that's going to increase the likelihood that someone chooses your business over another business. So when you go to, I think it's business.google.com, you're going to be able to find that you can make a free listing, and you're going to want to add in all your services, a little bit about you, your phone number, your website, and then most importantly, the pictures of work that you've completed. This is really going to help you stand out when people are like, well, what do they do? And having having a profile with pictures that aren't stock images is going to go a lot further than someone that just has a blank page or only has a logo but nothing else and no work to show. So really make sure you fill it out well, because a well filled out Google business profile is going to help your website rank better. And as we mentioned before about the blogs, having the right blogs on your site is also going to make your Google business profile rank better. So if you have content about your services for a certain city, when someone looks in that city for epoxy flooring near me, they're going to end up seeing your business profile because your website has content. So it's twofold with what you should be doing there. Next up is networking and collaborations. This is about working with other business owners that have a large list of clients already, such as painters, contractors, remodelers, landscapers. They have a large list already, and you might ask them, hey, can you reach out to your customers and tell them about my services? And you do the same for them. And so basically, you might have a friend that has 1,000 people, and you have them send out the letter for you. So you don't want to send it directly to them with they're like, how did you get my email? Instead, your friend would say, hey, I have a friend that does epoxy flooring. I had my garage done. Here's what it looks like. They're offering 10% off for all my customers. So take advantage of this offer. It ends January 31st. And so what you want to do is create an offer for them so that when the email goes out, they will take action on it. And make sure at the bottom of that email, it says who they need to contact, the phone number and email address, and make sure it's actually there, because you don't want it to just be like, hey, here's their business, go to their website. You want to make it a little bit more direct, like, hey, here's where you're going to get a quote, and here's how to do it. Next up is referral programs. Referral programs can actually gain you a lot of business if it's incentivized. So you might have family or friends that want to refer you, but they may not do it all the time. But if you put, say, a $50 gift card for a restaurant out there where you're like, hey, you refer me, I'll give you $50, and I'll also give your friend, say, $100, $200 off of their install. So you have to make it kind of twofold, where your friend gets an incentive and then their friend that they referred also gets an incentive. Make it into a business card, make it something that they can hand out, or even make it a social media post that they can share. And so you can make it kind of like a contest, like, hey, who can refer the most friends this month? So think through that, think what your market wants, and really think about how you can make it tangible for all parties to win. This 7th way you could do it is local events. Local events could be something along the lines of a home show. So in the springtime, a lot of cities have a home show where a lot of business owners can show their products. The advantage of having a show like this can help you get in front of people with your actual product. You can actually show them the different colors, the flake system, the metallic floors, the solid color floors, and be able to show them the difference in the way you do your concrete coatings. And so being able to show people in person kind of gives you a better advantage than just saying, hey, here's a picture of what we do. You should just buy it, versus being able to show them in person. There's a lot more to that. So think about that, see what events there are, and see what would be relevant for your industry. Number 8 is online reviews and reputation management. So we talked about your Google business profile, but let's also talk about your Facebook profile too. Both of them can get reviews. And getting reviews sometimes doesn't come naturally. You have to ask your clients. So after you finish a job, politely ask your satisfied customers to leave a review after that transaction. But more importantly, tell them, hey, I'm going to send you a text or I'm going to send you an email so that you can just click that link and leave us a review. I really appreciate it, and it would mean a lot to me. If it's your technician doing it and you're not the business owner doing it, have your technician incentivized by saying, hey, business, customer, like, I would really love a review. Can you leave my name in there as well? Because I get a bonus, whether it's a $5 bonus or something. Incentivize your text to actually want to ask, because that will help the customer to actually want to leave a review when you send that email later. Now, using tools that are reputation management tools, such as where they text and then email and follow up with multiple emails, those can be beneficial as well, having that third party interaction. But keep in mind that not everyone's going to leave a review, but the more you ask, the more likely you're going to get more. So if you ask 5 people, maybe 1 or 2 will do it. If a tech asks them, you might get maybe 3 out of it. But you have to think about the situation where someone's like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it. But you have to make that rapport building. So if you're in an email transaction, someone said, hey, I really loved your services. Maybe you just slide them an email back and say, hey, I know you loved our services. Could you just put that in a review on Google right now? Just take 30 seconds to do that. Someone might be more likely to do it because they just praised you at that moment. Finally, the last tip we have is to create informative how-to guides, tutorials, or even videos of how to install garage floor coatings. Now, why would we recommend this? The reason is that some people go, oh, I can DIY that. And maybe they could. But if you show them all the steps, you might actually help them realize it's not always meant for the faint of heart. Like, you've got to be willing to commit to it and do it the right way, else you could have some issues with your epoxy flooring system a few years down the road. And so you might identify common challenges or questions that your target audience might actually ask if they were to DIY it themselves. And basically creating a video of how to do it with step-by-steps, or even putting it in a blog format, it might allow people to come to your site and read about it and then realize, hey, this isn't for me, I'm just going to call them instead. And so when you put out content like that and you make it localized, like you say, hey, how to install garage floor coatings in Dallas, and when someone searches that, they're more likely to be in your area with having the word Dallas in it. You can get some visitors over to your website. Now, keep in mind that some people may do it on their own, but you're going for the people that are like, oh no, this is not for me. And in the same way, if you go through this whole list and you're like, you know what, I don't have time to go after all these different methods to get leads the freeway, what's a way that I can do it where it's scalable? And that's where you would reach out to a company like ours, Creatively Innovative, to implement our decision-making algorithm into your company so that we can get you more leads from online. And we have multiple marketing channels that we use to get you these leads. So if that is something that is interest to you, click on the website link below, fill out your contact information, and get in touch with us. We'll schedule a call with you so that we can go over how we can provide that help for you. Also, take a look at more videos that we're going to we'll put out later, and you can watch those and learn more about what we do and how we can help your business scale. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to click the like, subscribe, and be on the lookout for more videos. Thanks again, guys.